Assalamu alaikum. Today we have with us, again we're back with the one and only brother Danny Williams. He just completed a hard training session, did about, what was it, 8 rounds of sparring?
Six
rounds sparring and some bag work. Obviously you got the fight, 2 fights coming up in a short period of time with, what's his name, the German guy, Konstantin something, on the 30th of May, and then July 14th with John McDermott. For which title is that?
My fight with John McDermott will be July 4th in London for the British title. Me defending the British title and actually beating Henry Cooper's record. Henry Cooper had 14 British and Commonwealth defences, and we're both on 14. Okay. So me winning this fight, God willing, inshallah. I'll beat Sir Henry Cooper's record. That's
the title you got from Scott Gammon, was it, in 2006?
Yes, when everyone wrote me up after I lost Audley Harrison, you know, after being out of shape, and I lost Audley Harrison, embarrassing. My next fight back was against Scott Gamma. Unbeaten fight, and everyone thought, you know, I was going to lose. But Alhamdulillah, I was able to come back and prove people that, you know, this guy don't fall down to no one.
Alhamdulillah. So it's like not a lot of people hear about you. Not a lot of people hear about what's going on with Danny Williams. It's sort of like come off the boxing radar. But can you tell us a bit about what's been going on, what's been happening recently? You're not out of boxing, are you? You seem to be still pretty much in it. What are your plans?
My plans are to get back to the top. You know, like you say, a lot of people, because I'm boxing on ITV no more. A lot of people think that I've finished boxing. And a lot of people don't even know I've won the British title. A lot of people think after the Audley fight, that was my last fight. But I've had 3 fights since then. I went to Germany and boxed the top prospect, Oleg Plateau. As you know, I nearly knocked him out, and then the referee stopped it and gave it.
That was a robbery,
proper robbery.
I've uploaded that fight so everyone can watch that and see.
Exactly. I went to America, beat American. Then now I'm fighting again in Spain against Ulrich, and you know, my main aim is now to get back to the top. You know, I've lost a lot of weight. I feel sharp. You see the sparring, my hand speeds up back to what it was before. And you know, I'm just ready. Inshallah, I'm going to get back to the top. You know, that's the thing in boxing. When someone knocks you down, you can't just stay down. You got to be a soldier and get back up, and that's my whole thing. I've been down many times. It's time to get back up to the top.
That's right. It's a problem in boxing these days. As soon as someone gets a little knock, everyone writes him off. There's enough armchair boxers out there who think they know what they're saying.
But this wasn't the case in the old days. You know, Emmy Armstrong and these guys used to lose. Next 2 weeks later, they were fighting again, and they get a win, and they're back up to the top. And, you know, things are different now. But I'm old school. You know, I lose, but I'll come back.
Yeah, inshallah. So it's been how long have you been training without a trainer for? You've been training without a trainer for a while now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been mad. You know, I've been even the Audley Harrison fight from back in the Audley Harrison fight, so nearly 2 years ago. I've been boxing without a trainer. I've been running when I wanted to run, training when I'm on the train. You know, I personally put on my sparring partner's gloves, then put on my own gloves. As mad as that sounds, then we spar. I take his gloves and I take my gloves. That's how it's been going. But I've just now got a trainer. As you see, David Brewer, excellent trainer. He's teaching me some wicked moves. My hand speed, everything just seems to go, but come back now, and I feel I'm ready to take on the world now.
Inshallah. So what are you looking to do now? You've got a new trainer, so how is that going to change things for you?
It's going to change things for me big time in that my fitness is going to be up at another level. My boxing ability is going to be up. My sharpness is going to be up.
Definitely.
You know, my eye for the punches. You know, when the punches are coming, you know, get out of the way. My hand speed. You see some of the jabs I was throwing out there. You know, everything's going to be up there. My defensive moves. Everything's coming back now, and that's because, you know, David Perez is such a superb trainer. He's getting me back to where I was before. And then hopefully we go surpass that.
Inshallah. I mean, this is a lot of people that in the past they say that you put on some spectacular performances in sparring in the gym, but then in the ring things sort of go a bit differently. I mean, obviously we've seen from the sparring you got some tremendous ability, you got some amazing combinations, you threw really good speed, some good footwork. So, you know, how confident are you that we're going to see that in the actual fights themselves in the ring in the ring itself?
Inshallah. You know, my problem in the past, you know, I've wanted it so badly that when I go into a fight, the adrenaline and my want for it, you know, makes me not fight the way I fight in sparring.
That's right.
And you can see how much I want it from. If you look at one of my fights against Mark Potter, I boxed with a dislocated shoulder. That's how much I really want to win. And again, you put that. Anyone can catch it. Watch that. You know, that's how much I want to win. But now I've just got. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to relax more. And what will be will be. You know, everything's to the will of God. And you know, I'm just going to go in there and make you know, got to do what he's got to do, and me just relax. And when I'm relaxed, that's when I can put in the good performances, inshallah.
Inshallah. I noticed your trainer, he said one thing, that you have the ability to throw really fast combinations and to actually box.
Yeah.
But the way you've been fighting is like you're just a one punch knockout fighter. That's sometimes. Right. So how are you looking to change that? What changes do you want to put into place to help yourself actually fight a bit more, use those combos, use that jab, that hand speed, rather than just go for that haymaker?
Again, it's all to do with my mental attitude. I've got to change my old mental attitude, my mental makeup. I've got to go in there and think like this is a sparring session. Think.
Yeah, that's right.
This ain't the battle. This ain't the battle of butter. This this doesn't mean nothing,
Yeah.
Let's go in there and relax. When I'm relaxed, as I was with Tyson, no one thought I could do anything.
Yeah,
I could put on a great performance. When I build up everything and think, I've got to win. That's when I go in and I try too hard. I try too hard, I can't perform. It's all about being relaxed. That's the key to victory. It's the key for me performing good.
Is that what happened in the Scott Gamma fight? Were you actually hyped up to perform, or did you manage to find yourself? Did you manage to relax towards the end? How was that?
Yeah, in the Scott Gamma fight, the world was on my shoulder in the sense that if I lost, my career's finished. 27 years in the game, that's gone.
That's right.
But, God put mercy on me, and I was just so relaxed in the fight that I was able to show some of my old school skills in the fight, and I was able to come up with victory. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. That was quite a funny day, because you walked in and it seemed like the entire gym was against you, and they were all cheering against you. But then you seemed to travel all this distance and beat their champion down like a dog, and then go home. And I heard Scott Gamma's coming back into the game, by the way. He left. I don't think plastering is very good these days, but he seems to come in. But anyway, that's his choice. What do you make of the current crop of British heavyweights? I mean, right now I just heard Frank Warren's looking to put Samuel Peters in against either Audley Harrison or Matt Skelton. Okay, Matt Skelton maybe you can understand, but Audley Harrison, he's been running his mouth recently. He's just come back in the game, and it took him 6 rounds to take out some guy who had a 10-6 record. and he's talking about. But what do you think about that? I mean, the current crop of heavyweights.
Skelton, like you say, Skelton hasn't got the most skills in the world, but he's a soldier.
Yeah.
When he boxed for the world title, everyone thought, including myself, that he was going to get knocked out, but he went the distance and he gave the.
You have to give him some respect.
You got to give him respect. He's a soldier, and at his age as well, he's done very good.
Yeah.
So him getting the world title, you can see. But with Audley Harrison, he's never won a title since he's won the Olympics and the amateurs.
That's right.
And that's going back 8 years. So for me, he hasn't even won a British title. He hasn't even won a Sub-Era title. Come on, man, he's got to win something before he can go in for the world title. And I mean, it's fair. Not just because you're with a good promoter like Frank Warren, you should get a title shot. You should have to go in there and achieve something. He's never achieved anything. So that's all I say. You can't, boxing is such a hard sport, you can't begrudge anyone anything, but go and achieve something to justify what you're doing,
He had a recent press conference, and he didn't even know that Spencer was there. Or Spencer was actually there, and he started saying that Spencer Fearon turned down the fight with Danny Williams, and then Spencer goes, "When did I turn down the fight?" And then he clapped on that he was there. So is that true though? I mean, was that true that you turned down the fight with Audley Harrison?
No, nothing. He never made an offer to me. Spencer was just a corner man.
Yeah.
So how can Spencer turn down anything? Spencer's not my promoter.
Yeah.
I was with Frank Warren at the time.
Yeah.
So he should have made an offer to Frank Warren.
That's right.
I want to fight Danny Williams. Spencer can't say yes or no to fight. To make the fight or not. Spencer's just a corner man. So a legit offer was never made to me.
Yeah.
He never spoke to me. He never spoke to Frank Warren.
Okay. What happened in that second fight though? I mean, he seemed to have gotten really happy after that. But I mean, was it just a matter of you just came in underprepared, or?
Yeah, the thing is, Matthew Skelton pulled out, 8 days before the fight.
Yeah.
I was just ticking over. Frank Warren gave him a call and said that Matthew Skelton pulled out. Would you like to take on Audley Harrison? I thought, just go for it. I'm a soldier. Just go for it. I thought the first couple rounds would be tough.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd tuck up and get through. But Audley Harrison, on the day he fought me, he was on his game and he boxed very, very sharp, and he was able to defeat me. Of course I was out of shape, but he was tremendously sharp on that day. Take my hat to him.